Let's have a look at Adobe XD. Let's set up a new document. So this is File and New. We're going to have a web design page layout template thing. So we'll go on here and we'll just choose this 1920 by 1080 page. So this is going to give us blank canvas. And what have we got? On the left hand side, we've got some tools. We've got some assets section here. We're in design mode. There's prototyping and sharing over there. And then over on the right hand side, we've got properties for whatever tool it is that we're working on, or the document itself here. And then we've got little testing and things like that. So you can see we've got the size of this screen, whether it's responsive or not. It's not at the moment. How it's going to scroll, let's set that to not. And then what the background color is going to be, let's give that a little bit of a bland grey. What else can we do over here? On this side here, we've got our background grid layout. This is set to columns. We can change this so that we can have however many columns we want. 8, for instance. You can see it's got safe borders at either side, which is probably a useful thing. We've got the gutter width, which is there set to 16. Let's change that to 8. Look at that. What else can we change this to? We can do square. You can't see it, maybe because that's set to that. Oh yeah, look, there you go. So you can see minute grid in there. Square size is set to 8 here, so let's set that to a division of 1920. So let's set that to 192. And then we've neatly divided that up into a bunch of squares. So that can be a good helpful layout tool where we're going to put whatever borders, boxes, stuff like that. Let's leave that as it is. And then we want to pop some content in here, so we can make some boxes that could have whatever colour in. So let's give ourselves a border along the top. So we'll go to the main rectangle tool here and let's just drag that. See, it's sticking to things, which is really useful. We've got normal controls over stuff on here, as you would expect with Adobe software. So it's sticking onto things like that, sticking onto things here. Yeah. We would just have some border there, and let's give it what do we go for? A bit of a green. Yeah, sort of a light green. Like that. What we do, we can have a border. Don't want a border though, so turn it off. But you can see you've got the size of it, where the outline goes, how the corners are. Further down, you can see that you've got shadows that you can apply to it, an inner shadow or drop shadow to sit underneath it, and some kind of background blur thing. I'm going to leave all of that stuff alone. Let's turn that off again. Right, so fixed position when scrolling. Yeah, we'll leave all of these things as they are. Right, so we've got box for something. Other tools. So we can make circles, ovals, make triangles. They can have more than 3 sides. Press up and down on the cursor keys for that. We can make lines. Yeah. And we can draw with the pen tool in the same sort of way that we would want to do with what's it called? Illustrator. Yeah, so you can make shapes with that as well. And then type tool, so we can type in the box, well no, type on the page, text, yeah, select that, come on, select, and then over here we've got the fonts, put them in, whether they're regular, bold, whatever size, and color, probably not cool having a border, yeah, that sort of thing, unless you're doing some sort of logo. And then we've got alignment and stuff like that. So if we were going to have some body text in there, you know, like lorem ipsum, then we'd have to go and paste that from somewhere. So loremipsum.com, decent website where we can go and get some body text, same as what we would have had in InDesign, where you're going to control click and fill with placeholder text. Here I can make some paragraphs. Let's have a little one. Let's have that. And then text. Here we go. That's a bit massive, so let's change that down to 12. Yep. So we've got some body text, and as you can see, it's sticking to the grid that we've got there in the background. So total text, and we can also put pictures in. So we just need to go to import, and then we can get something that we've got here. So I'll put some, well, let's get the home thing. Yeah, so I've got a home icon, and we've got the obvious control size stuff around that. So let's go and pop that up there, sit that in a box. Okay. And let's get that, so we could pretend we've got a bunch of buttons or something here. So let's make some copies of these. There we go. So these could be buttons, this could be your text, that's your home page button. Let's stick one more of these down here. So I'm holding down the Option key just to click and drag a copy. It's keeping it in proportion. Holding down Shift doesn't make any difference as far as that's concerned. So that's whatever that is. Let's shove that there. And let's change the justification so that it's like that. Yeah, so it's helping us just as we would expect with Adobe software. It's seeing things, boxes, content, and the grid is, as we move stuff around, it's responding pretty well to anything. You know, obviously this isn't sitting exactly here, but then that little box of text is aligning with things nicely. Once you've got content into your page, then you might want to make sure that things are sitting in the right place. So as we can see here, this house home button is underneath there. So maybe that's not what we need. We want to change the layer order of things. So maybe somewhere in here, if we control or right click on it, we can bring to the front or bring forwards, then backwards. Yeah, so these are layers, just in the same as we would have in Photoshop or Illustrator or InDesign. Over on the left hand side here, we've got the button for layers, and you can see it's draggable so that you can put stuff on top of or underneath other bits of content. So as far as the layout is concerned, we've got a bit of border at either side, we've got the content, we've got some buttons, we've got pictures, and we will be ready to start to piece together a number of pages that would do whatever it is that we want to do, present our information. So if we want a copy of this page, then we could probably press Command and C, Command and V, and then I can zoom out, and I've got now 2 pages. Right, let's have a look at the last bit, which is prototyping, making links, checking it, and then sharing it. So if we go into prototype up here, we have we can set our home page, so that's that one. So let's just click on here. That's where we're going to come back to always. So I've got some buttons here to go to various pages. I've only got one page, so this button is going to take me to this page, and I can click. You can see they all have these little pop out. Anything has this little pop out thing, so it can all be all these things can be a link. So that's going to link me. I'm going to click and drag that thing to the next thing that I want it to link to, which is this page. So that's going to go to there. And then we can see over here what triggers it is a tap. So as I tap it or click it, you can also drag, have things set up for keyboards. We don't have any of those set up. Or a voice, don't want that. Tap. And then I've got my transition, so it can be whatever it is. And here we want it to slide to the right or to the left. Let's have it going from the left. Yeah. So it slides in from the left. I don't want it to overlay, because what I might end up with is bits from this page appearing on top of that page. So let's transition, slide to the left. We've got an easing, so we can make things sort of fade in. The speed easing is the speed of the fade, the cross transition from one slide of a slide to the next. So let's leave that on ease out like that, and that's how long it's going to take. Right, so then we want to go into here, and we want to use this home button to come back to the first page, and then again that's set to tap, transition, telling us where we're going. The page 1 just does this, just telling us we're going to page 2. Okay, so that's going to page 1, and then it's going to slide right. Yeah, let's change that to ease in like that, and then we can test it. So we can go up here to the little preview button, desktop preview, and then we can see our page. We can see if we put our mouse over things, none of them are buttons apart from that first image here. So we can click on that and it will scroll across, and then we can go back like that. Okay, so that's worked, isn't it? So let's stop that. So to share this work, we can generate a Adobe XD web link, which we could also embed into something, and so that can be shared. So you could paste this link into a text file to hand in. That will be good, as long as it's set to anyone with the link. There's a few options up here for how you're sharing it, allowing people to give you feedback and things like that on it. We'll leave this as just design review. So copy the link, paste it into a text file, and then you can hand that in as well. The other thing that we can do, we can export it as a bunch of things. So if we go to export all artboards, if it's selected, and it'll only export the single one that's selected. But we've got all here, so we can export all of these separately, and we can send them out as a PNG image file, SVG vector file, PDF document, or a JPEG. Probably be good to send it out as a PDF. That's something people can open on all sorts of things, but it won't have any of its interactivity like it would have if you'd have done the same sort of thing in InDesign. And this will just give you a document of those individual pages. So export all artboards. Oh, what's in options? Nothing. That's just showing us where or whether it's single PDF files or one individual ones for each page. Export that. So this is just going to update it because I did it before. Replace, and then I will have a PDF that doesn't have the interactivity, but it does have all the content in it. So that's similar to like an image sequence of your pages. But providing a link is really useful because then someone can view that and it will work. Let's just copy this. Copied. Let's go on the internet. Paste that in there. And there it is. Okay. Oh, that's got an overlay version on it. Maybe that's not updated yet. Here we go. Oh, let's try that one. Copy the link. Yep, there we go. So that's working. With using Adobe XD to prototype websites or apps or whatever, there'll be lots of kits available on the internet for you to use to build wireframe plans with. So there's links to a couple of these on the Canvas page. This is wireframe example 1, and you can see that there's various boxes for content with text. There's a mock-up video page, and here's Wire's Web, which has got loads and loads of little layout ideas, and here's all sorts of extra content. Let's zoom in on that. So you can see this, for instance, has a bunch of buttons. We could copy these. Copy that one and go back onto here. Yeah, so if I want to add something like that, then you can see it's now added to my page, my project over here. So you can work with these, taking content from wherever. On the Adobe website, I'll give a link to this in the Canvas as well, Jumpstart with UI kits. So there's loads that you can just go and download if you want them to do stuff for Apple operating system, whatever for Google's, etc., etc., etc. There's a load of different things here that you could go and get kits of so that you can build stuff.